Hi there, I'm Sarah Soul. I thought I'd make a little video to introduce who I am, what I'm passionate about, why I love and do the work that I do as a shamanic healing arts practitioner. So I'll start with where I am now. I live in the majestic and strange San Luis Valley in southern Colorado. And I lived in a different part of Colorado. I lived for a few years up in Wyoming. My mom was from Wyoming. I grew up in California. I lived in beloved Mexico in Guadalajara for 3 years, so I'm fluent in Spanish. I've lived in Portugal. I've lived in Minneapolis, Paris. No, I didn't live in Paris. I just visited Paris a lot. I was living in Geneva for a summer. I've been all over the place, traveled a ton. Yes, but where I am currently is Colorado, next to the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. This is actually a photo of taken on the organic cattle ranch where I'm living. And I have a couple horses. I finally last year bought horses for the first time. It's been a lifelong dream, and I have two horses. Their names are William and Shakti. And this will be a topic for another video, but horses are natural healers. Just their being, the four legs, oh, they're incredible creatures. I'm a lover of all animals, actually. Animals, bugs, insects. I love them all. I have other furry critters, two dogs, and a cat. It's like giant poofy cat. And I want to have goats and I want to have chickens, and I have the space for them now here in the home where I live. So I'm so excited about that. The natural world, plants. I love to garden. What else can I tell you about myself? I love hiking. My preferred physical activity is walking or hiking. Um, and there's a lot of that. There's a lot of really good hiking here in Colorado. I also super duper love movies, movies of any kind, books of basically any kind. Uh, and I think the reason, I have my whole life, like books and movies, I just love them. And actually, this getting involved with the shamanic healing arts and shamanic journeying is like choose your own adventure. Like you're like every person has their own universe and their own world, and then we get to explore that when we're doing the shamanic work. And we can travel through, we're not bound by space or time, so we can go anywhere. It's amazing. And that's one of the things I just love and enjoy so much about the work that I do, is that I'm given access to like get these little windows into other people's worlds and universes, and it's just awesome. Oh, what else can I tell you? I am a certified yoga instructor. I've never taught yoga, even though I finished my 500 hour. I did that just for fun. I love yoga. Um, I, what else? I just bought a truck that I'm really excited about, a 2005, a 2005 Ford F-150 to tow my horse trailer. I've always wanted a truck like that. It's awesome. She's red. Her name is Scarlet. Um, what else? I volunteer. There's two different things that I volunteer with now currently, and I love them so much. Actually, just earlier today, one of my volunteer activities is packing boxes once a week for like fresh produce boxes for our local CSA. So I was doing that this afternoon, which was super fun. And then also, I volunteer for two hospice organizations in the area. And the I think it's because I'm a Scorpio. I think that's how it all got started is I've always been fascinated by death and dying. I haven't found it particularly scary. It's been fascinating to me. And then I was accompanying I was around the death of both of my grandmothers, who I was really close with a number of years ago, and then my mom passed away 7 years ago. And it was just awesome. Uh, I mean, it was the saddest. It was horrible losing my mom. And also, it was awesome, like being able to be close with her and support her in that entire process. Saying goodbye, leaving her body, her spirit traveling to wherever she is now. And that was kind of the final kicker in terms of me shifting my career towards shamanic work and spiritual work. And a lot of what I do is tending to people and their families around death and dying and what happens with our spirit as our bodies fail and we say goodbye. So I started going, I said that was like the final straw. The whole experience around my mom dying, I was like, that's it. I'm gonna study with my teacher, Sue Feathers. I ended up doing a 3-year shamanic healing arts program. I'm currently in an apprenticeship with Coyote the Blind in California. But what I was doing before that, oh my gosh, I've had so many different jobs and like kind of how I've been all over the place geographically on our planet. I've also done that professionally. So as an undergrad, I got a degree in public health, and then I worked for 3 years and lived in Northern California doing public health research, mostly around nutrition, physical activity, obesity prevention, that kind of thing. And that got me interested in nutrition and food systems. So I went to grad school and ended up getting a dual master's degree. I started in nutrition and food systems, like ag science kind of stuff. And then I started there, and then I thought, why not do two masters? Like, why, like, who just gets one master's degree? Like, why don't I get two? So then I added on. I also studied international affairs. I got an international affairs degree, and that's how I got really serious about Spanish, the Spanish language, even though, so that connection, oh, I love the Spanish language. Me encanta. That started actually from when I was a really, really young girl growing up in Southern California. And my parents, we would travel into Mexico. We'd cross the border all the time and go down to Tijuana, Ensenada, San Felipe. We had a trailer on the beach in San Felipe for years and years. So, anyway, from the beginning, I've always really loved Spanish and really loved Mexican culture. And I studied Spanish all the way through school. And then in grad school, I had to have Spanish for my degree. So I went to Mexico City and did a language program and got real serious around professional level Spanish. And when I graduated, I moved down to Mexico. And that was just the best decision ever. Because talk about a magical shamanic, oh, Mexico is awesome. All of Latin America. So why did I tell you about that? Oh, because so I was working in international development. I was doing consulting around international development and working for clients like the Inter-American Development Bank and doing all these really fancy things. And then all kinds of stuff, ag science, international food trade. I kept up with the public health consulting also. And then, but always, this entire time, always, there's been how do I call, there's been like this river of magic and spirit. And see, I always kept it, I was always secret. Like people knew, like my family and my closest friends always knew this mystical side I didn't have language for it for a really long time. And then again, so about 10 years ago, because it was a number of years before my mom died, so it was more than 10 years ago, I started then learning about the shamanic healing arts, doing shamanic journeying, and I was like a duck to water. Like, I absolutely loved it, jumped full on in. And then it got me thinking, because I started meeting other shamanic practitioners, holy smokes, you can actually have this as a job. like, like you can do this as your job. I mean, yeah, I can't say it any clearer than that. And so then over those 10 years, there was a slow process I went through, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, to transition out of one professional world and into the other. And I can't imagine doing anything different from what I do now. I finally found my vocation, like my true vocation, and what I'm here to do with my time on this planet. What a relief and what a joy. So I think I covered all the highlights there of who I am and what I care about. And a lot of you know me already. But for those of you who don't, this is me, Sarah Soul. And please get in touch. Email me. Let's connect. Let's work together. Okay. Bye bye for now.